When I first conceived of the idea of documentaries, people would relentlessly and continuously ask me to write a book about sculpting. I always say, just as a way to kind of get out of answering it, I would always just say, well, I'm waiting for the documentary instead, and people would just laugh, and that was the end of it. So here we are. The obsession of sculpting started when I was a kid, and I would see these commercials on television, and I was living out in the middle of nowhere, and so I ended up just making my own toys based on what I would see on TV. My mom, she would always laugh and look at what I've made and say, "You're just not smart enough to know that you can't do those things." I always felt like I had an advantage because of the fact that I trained for the day that I would be working in animation without ever knowing that I was doing it. There was a handful of guys that sculpted, but it really picked up steam once I got there because I was the first full-time sculptor that they had in the animation department. I immediately started doing my homework, trying to kind of learn about things like line of action, the animation process, and I decided to approach my sculpting the same way. There's people that are always asking, what's your secret? There shouldn't be any secrets. There should be just like, if somebody has a question, a fellow artist has a question, share the answer if you know it, and if you don't, just let them know you just don't know.
It's fun to sculpt something out of clay and then seeing it actually moving around on the screen, coming to life. I love doing it. I can stand in front of a sculpture for hours and never lose interest in it. Just working away. Me and the clay.
What do you think people are going to get out of this movie?
I hope that they're going to recognize themselves in my situation. I always had that one confidence in my life that kept me from having extremely low self-esteem. And I think everybody should be able to find something within themselves that, it's really doing things for other people that really turns it around, where you can kind of go from like self-loathing to like, hey, kids like this stuff.